Just under 2 months ago, James Harden got traded for the fourth time in his career, this time to the LA Clippers. And I would say for the majority of fans, majority of analysts, Harden going to LA was some blockbuster move that broke their brains. But for me back then, even now, the Clippers doing that trade is a massive mistake and kills any chance they have of winning an NBA championship. And Harden's time with the Clippers got off to a very, very rough start. They lost, 8 straight games? But now, coming out of December, they've won 9 out of 10 and are playing great basketball. But quite honestly, I don't care if the Clippers win 25 games straight or lose 25 games straight. Because for James Harden, his overall career, what actually matters is the playoffs. And to kind of give some perspective, looking at Harden's first 22 games in Los Angeles, the Clippers are 14-8. His first 22 games in Brooklyn, they're 15-7. And his first 22 games in Philadelphia, also 15-7. James Harden's track record of playing the good soldier, being a good teammate for 6 months a year is definitely proven. But in all those spots, what started off so promising ended in absolute flames. And when you essentially have 3 different divorces, who's the actual problem? Those franchises, or the guy who's been to each and every one of them and left on bad terms? Make your own conclusions. And once again, looking back at playoff James Harden, Clippers fans, if you haven't been paying attention, this guy's track record is one of the worst playoff superstars in NBA history. And to not even reach the 40-game mark, even reach January, and to be taking victory laps, hanging banners, it's the most Clippers thing I've ever seen. Because playoff James Harden in his biggest moments, time and time again, will fail you and disappoint you. Look at games 5 through 7 versus Boston after being up 3-2. In those 3 games, James Harden averaged 13 points, 4 turnovers, 31% shooting, and 15% from 3. And in game 7, made a measly 9 points and had more turnovers than made field goals. The James Harden you get in April, March is much, much different than James Harden you get in December and even January. As playoff Harden is highly erratic, a shot jacker, and a guy who quite simply quits on his teams. And I think it's pretty well established in Los Angeles, Kawhi and PG are the top 2 dogs. So think about this. If James Harden couldn't play second fiddle to Joel Embiid, wanted more shots, wanted the ball more, how do you think it's going to go in Los Angeles when he's the 3rd option, even 4th option, from night to night? And when you get in a grinded out 7-game playoff series versus the same team every single night, James Harden's play becomes redundant. And the Clippers' overall big 3, Kawhi Leonard, score first player, Paul George, score first player, and James Harden, he can facilitate, but mainly is a score first player. At age 34, having lost a step, do you think James Harden being the 3rd fiddle on this team equals an NBA championship? For me, it's a big fat no. If the Clippers go deep in the playoffs, make the West Finals, even the NBA Finals, which they won't, the driving force 100% be Kawhi Leonard and not James Harden. As Kawhi getting back in game shape, getting healthy, to a very slow start, the reason the Clippers have won so many games straight. As looking at his start of the season, his first 15 games, was only averaging 20.4 points on 46-37 and 83 splits. Look, not bad numbers, but for Kawhi Leonard, those overall stats don't scream superstar. Since that slow start, since the Clippers are floundering, Kawhi now is averaging 29.3 points on 59, 52, and 92 splits. The Clippers winning games, being a high seed, going deep into playoffs, depends on one guy like it has for the past 4 years. And that guy is Kawhi Leonard. And when it comes to Clippers Harden, again, James Harden is 34 years old. He is who he is. Highly inconsistent and erratic from night to night. As looking at his overall play during this win streak, he'll have 20 points one night, 12 the next, then 20, back to 15, 28, 10, 35, then 17. It's always one great night, then a so-so night, another great night, a terrible night. And out of all those games, Harden has yet to have 2 straight games shooting above 50% from the field. Again, going to show you guys, James Harden is not built for the playoffs. And I would say one big indictment on James Harden is how good Philly has been without him this season, as their overall win record hasn't dipped in the slightest, and someone like Maxey stepped right in, filled that void, and this year we a first-time All-Star. And looking at Joel, not the biggest fan of the guy, but his overall stats and numbers have drastically improved without James Harden. And I said it on the day of the trade, Philadelphia actually was the winner of that exchange, as by dumping James Harden getting back scraps for him, in reality, was addition by subtraction. As looking at Philly this year, they rank 2nd in offensive rating, 5th in defensive rating, 1st in net, 4th in scoring, and 7th in opponents' points per game. Compared to last year with James Harden, Philly without him is basically better in every single category. And look, the 76ers and Clippers, I don't think either of those teams is going to win the championship. But if I had to pick one who has the better overall shot, I'm going with Philly every day of the week, as Tyrese Maxey, not even being 25 years old yet, is a better playoff guy than James Harden at this point in his career. And when it comes to Clippers' overall team and their roster, again at this point, things are going pretty well, smooth sailing, and the overall chemistry is thriving. But like with every James Harden team, there'll be some minor major bump in February, March, heading into April. It's virtually guaranteed. And for guys like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, I hate to say it, those guys are injury prone and are going to get hurt and banged up. And for Kawhi, their best player, when was the last time in the playoffs he had a healthy run to the conference finals? It was all the way back in 2019 with the Raptors. And even then, Kawhi was banged up with nagging injuries and limped into the NBA Finals. And the last time we saw him in the playoffs, he was fantastic, but got hurt. And the year before that, when they made the West Finals, got injured in the second round. This Clippers team, quite literally, is a ticking time bomb of disasters. Will it be injury, ego, chemistry? Who knows? Maybe all of the above. But this Clippers team, time and time again, they're going to find a way to do Clippers things and fall flat on their face. And to restate once again, when it comes to James Harden, I'm not a believer now. I wasn't a believer in Philly, Brooklyn, or Houston. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.